announcement. If you haven't seen this yet and you don't want to be spoiled, don't worry. You can watch our review. We're going to do a little while, non-spoilery, and then we're going to tell you what we thought of it, and then we're going to tell you to leave, and then we're going to spoil.
Yes, we seriously respect your right to see Star Wars without any spoilers. So please do not spoil it for yourself by watching the spoilery part.
Yeah, don't watch the spoilery part unless you don't care about spoils. But I don't want to ruin anyone's experience. Okay, see you guys in a minute.
Like.
Hello, the internet! Hello!
We saw Star Wars!
We just saw Star Wars, The Force Awakens, Episode 7. Put that in the right order. This is Mark, this is Billy, and you're watching Unprofessional Movie Reviews. Do us a favor, click like if you haven't clicked like, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, share this to people who like Star Wars, and please comment below about what you thought of this movie, because chances are everyone is seeing this movie this weekend. So everyone I know, some people I know have already seen it twice. So, yeah. So, do that, all that, and, okay, the way we're gonna do this, it's a special episode, because of Star Wars, as we already stated, that you guys already heard, we're not going to spoiler it right away. We're going to talk about it for a couple minutes, tell us what we thought of it, tell you guys what we thought of it without us ruining anything, and then we're going to give you our ratings, our tailorized review between 1 and 10, and then we're going to tell you to leave. If you've seen the movie before, or if you don't care about spoilers, stick after that. We're going to probably jog on for a while about our positives and then our negatives. And then we're going to call it a day. That was a lot of talking on my part.
So we're going to talk about Star Wars Attack of the Clones.
Okay.
No, we're not.
Okay, I guess we can give not really a quick synopsis at all about this movie. No.
The Force Awakens.
It's Force Awakens.
That's pretty much all you need to know.
It's
the title.
As every single person in the world knew, there was a lot of hype. A lot of people got overhyped and they don't want to watch it now. I'm going to say that I understand that this movie is pumping the teat of nostalgia. I get that, and I understand. We are poster childs of the fans of this movie. We grew up with Star Wars. All that being said, I really liked it. And it is not a flawless movie. It is not. It is not a perfect film. And it doesn't need to be.
Right.
But overall, I'm going to say, good. Go see it. I liked it a lot. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I do have a significant amount of issues with this movie. I've already been told by the few people I've talked to about it who have seen the movie that I'm looking for things to not like about it. And I would strongly disagree with that point, but we'll get to that later. I will say that this movie is definitely worth seeing. It's worth seeing opening weekend. It's worth seeing right now.
Yeah, if you're not seeing it.
I personally wouldn't be offended if you clicked off this video to go watch it.
No, do that.
Yeah.
Do that. Go watch this movie. Yeah.
It's definitely worth seeing. Go see it. Absolutely.
Now, I like to say when people tell me to defend you on that, when people say, oh, you're just looking for, things to dislike about it. I know I'm going to be sitting in front of YouTube and telling people what I think of a movie, so I do try to look for flaws. That doesn't mean that if I see flaws, I'm going to hate the damn movie. I'm still going to like the movie on a personal level. And knowing a movie has flaws doesn't make a movie bad.
Right, exactly.
At all.
And not to sound like a pretentious asshole, but I know a lot about the movie-making process. I'm an actor. I study movies for a hobby and for a profession, so I'm obsessed with studying movies. It's not something I can't just watch a movie and not analyze it.
And zero movies.
So I
very close to zero movies.
Shut off and not do that, but
yeah, no, I wish too. Very few movies are flawless, and even those can be argued that they have flaws.
Right.
So again, we will be talking. So if you wanted Empire Strikes Back on this movie, or if you wanted the best Star Wars you're ever going to see ever, I don't think you're going to get it. I do not think that this is the best Star Wars.
No.
Is it better than the prequels? Hands fucking down.
Yeah.
Hands down. Hands down better than all three of the prequels.
Yeah, put together.
Without ruining any of the story, you're not going to get trade disputes. You're not going to get senators arguing over policies of the Trade Federation. You're not going to get that. This gets right into action, and it gets characters, and you dive into these characters.
That being said, you're also not going to have a lot of your questions answered. You're just not. You're just going to have to accept the conditions the way that they're presented to you, and you're going to have to accept the events as they relate to you, which a lot of times is given little to no detail.
This movie does not answer a lot of questions. It springs up a lot more than I had before I watched this, and I had a fuck ton of questions. It answers some, and some theories I got right, some theories I'm not sure about anymore, and some theories I got dead wrong.
All of mine were pretty much dead on.
Really? Oh, okay. There's still the biggest one I haven't got answered yet, but I'm not going to get into that. But what this movie and what I will... this movie doesn't answer all those questions, and a lot of people are going to consider that a negative. I like it. I wouldn't like... the superficial part of me, my heart's like, tell me this! But as a movie... I don't need a tight little bow because the next one's coming out. We're getting an episode 8. I didn't like episode 1, put a little bow on, or, Phantom Menace put a little bow on it, and then Attack of Clones put a little bow on it, and then Sith put a little bow on it. Empire Strikes Back didn't fucking put a bow on it. It didn't need a bow. It's like, Vader's Luke's father, deal with it for 3 fucking years. Bye! And I'm not saying that there's a huge of a spoiler like, Vader's your father level, but it is like that, where it's like, you end on a cliffhanger, and it's like, put up with it for 2 years. And Star Wars invented that. And I'm not going to get mad that a Star Wars movie's making me wait for an answer. Because that's what Star Wars movies do. Good ones. That's what good Star Wars movies do. So that's all I got to say about the answers.
I'm going to prattle on a bit about the cinematography for this film. Kind of a negative, lots of handheld shots. That's not something they set a precedent for in Star Wars movies from the get, and it doesn't make sense to bring in handheld shots now, and they just use the fuck out of them.
Yeah.
I guess J.J. Abrams has to have a gimmick for every one of his movies. In the Star Trek, people give him shit for the lens flare.
There was a few lens flares in this.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are going to give shit about pop-up. People are going to give a lot of shit for this movie for its handheld shots.
I could see that.
Yeah. They kept the PowerPoint transitions. The wipes, the diffusion from the center. And
it's Star Wars. Star Wars has always done it.
It's true.
And
it looks cheesy as shit in the prequels, but it is something that we come to expect with Star Wars movies. Yeah. And if they weren't there, that's something that I don't think it's
as predominant in the prequels. I think I noticed them just as much as I noticed them in Empire.
I think I noticed it more in the prequels because they have almost no practical effects, and all the shitty CGI makes it really
glowy shit's going away to more glowy shit.
Right.
It's less noticeable than when there's a practical starship going off.
And this movie had a lot of practical effects.
Lots.
I mean,
of practical.
When they first unveiled the practical BB-8, I
BB-8.
I loved it. I love BB-8.
No spoilers. If you were worried about BB-8 being the next Jar Jar Binks, just there for toys, you're partly right. He is just there for toys. But he doesn't ruin anything. He's a funny, adorable droid. He's everything I wanted in BB-8.
It wouldn't be unfair to say that he's a blatant ripoff of R2-D2.
I wouldn't go so far to say blatant, but he's pretty damn close.
He functions exactly the same way.
Well, he has the same job. He's an astromech droid.
We'll talk about that more in our spoilery review.
Yep, later on. This is going to be a long video.
He definitely, he's R2-D2. Beep, boop, beep. What's that R2-D2? Beep, boop, beep. Oh, yes, exactly.
Yep.
We'll find Obi-Wan. He's your only hope.
I'll put my little robot penis into this thing and fix it.
And I've got a zapper taser.
Hey, at least he didn't have jetpack.
Yeah, I suppose. R2-D2 something as a jetpack.
But then back to the practical, to give a flip side of that, when you get this much practical, when there is a full CGI thing, it sticks out like a sore thumb. And I'm not going to give away what scene yet, but I guess they kind of explained it a little bit, but there was a few times where I'm just like, ooh, there's a lot of CG in this shot. It's most of the shot, and it's not the best CG, which also surprised me. And that's funny, because in this same movie, there is some really awesome, where like, you can tell that's CG, but it looks really good. And then there's some times where it's like, ooh, okay, Voldemort from the second movie, or the third movie, and okay, I'm not saying that it's terrible, but I'm just saying it stands out. If this was a CG-heavy movie, it wouldn't have stood out so much, but when you do have those practical effects and the real starships and the real this and the real that, that when you get a full CG thing like that, you
It's
notice.
really noticeable.
Yes.
I also, again, don't want to give away any spoilers, but I'm going to say that there's a lot of plot-related stuff that rubbed me the wrong way. And I'll get to that later, but just suffice it to say that me as a Star Wars fan, I was 8 years old when Episode 1 came out. I'd already seen the trilogy numerous times on VHS tape, and I've seen the digitally remastered bullshit a bunch of times.
I've been watching it nonstop for the last 6 months, getting ready for this.
And I watched all 6 of them in one sitting at the end of the summer. So I had to introduce a virgin to the Star Wars.
A Star Wars version.
Yeah.
Not a version.
No, I had to introduce a virgin. No, I had to introduce a Star Wars virgin to the Holy Trilogies.
Yep, and we've been doing that. I've been watching them with friends and getting people back up. And one more thing, and then we're going to flip to our spoilers, I think, unless you got something else. John Williams scores everything you want John Williams score to be.
Yes.
It seemed at some time, like, my non-musical ears, which I don't have musical ears, I'm like, oh, this just seems like the last one, and it's just like the same stuff for the original trilogy. It's like a remix. And then my ears are like, no, it's not. Like, or the rest of my brain started listening, and it isn't. This is a different soundtrack with a little bit of old stuff, but overall, it is Star Wars quality soundtrack. Mm-hmm. I think this was a really good soundtrack. Not Star Trek. Soundtrack. Ooh, sorry.
What's her name? Ray.
Daisy Ridley.
Daisy Ridley sold the shit out of this movie.
No-name actor, killed it. Killed it.
Yeah.
She is the
I'm
next...
singling her out. She sold this movie.
We're gonna get into all the cast in the audio in the spoiler part. All the cast.
In the non-spoilery part, I just had to say Daisy Ridley fucking
phenomenal.
Ruled it.
And she's done nothing. She hasn't been in anything. She did a little bit of stage stuff, but like absolutely nothing. And they've been grabbing a little lesser known. I'm not gonna say no name for some of the other people they got, but holy crap though, Daisy Ridley is Mark Hamill's the next Mark Hamill.
She gets a 10 out of 10.
Oh yeah, she personally 10 out of 10. All right, I want to get into spoilers because we're already at 11 minutes.
Do our rating first?
Yeah, let's do the rating, and then we're going to get to spoilers. It's going to be a really long video. Thank you for watching it so far, and we're going to get to the deep stuff. I'm going to go.
Yeah, go first.
As I said, this isn't a perfect movie, but it is a good movie, and this isn't an insult. This isn't a bad rating. This is a good rating. This is a good movie. 8.5 out of 10, badly drawn, dick-like Millennium Falcons.
I gave this movie 7.5 Darth Jar Jars.
Okay. Alright. If you're gonna leave. Talk to you later. Click subscribe. Spoilers from here on out.
You in the back, get out.
If you don't want to be spoiled, you cannot complain in our comments that we spoiled anything anymore. We're talking about this as if you just watched this movie with us.
Yes, so be prepared. Okay. Grandpappy jokes. They had Han Solo making a lot of grandpappy jokes. Like, oh, I like this weapon, and Mr. Gorbachev tear down this wall, and this isn't how I imagine my day.
Oh,
like,
why? And the holding the hip when he's shooting. Yeah. I thought that was classy.
No,
I'm sorry, but that was classy.
All in all, there's too many jokes in this movie.
Yeah,
too many. They ruin a lot of serious moments with stupid fucking jokes.
Okay. All right, with positives. And then we'll get to that. I was going to bring that up.
We were just going to chat, but...
Oh, no. Let's do positives and negatives.
Right.
I want to talk about the cast, because I think, except for one of them, I think knocked them out of the park. Let's go with the original cast, Mark Hamill not included. I think Carrie Fisher was underused, but she was good. She was everything you needed her to be. Yeah. I think... I'm going to forget his name. Peter Mayhew as Chewbacca. There he was. Again, it's like I haven't missed him for 30 years.
He didn't miss a beat.
It was the same Chewie. Though, underused. And I hope they're going to use him again a lot in the next episode. Like, I hope he's going to... I want a moment, I want to see a little bit more Chewie, but he was great.
I agree.
Han, a lot more Han than I thought.
I think Harrison Ford was not in this movie. He was not committing to the character.
I think compared to what he's been doing the last 5 years, watch watch the last Indiana Jones and then watch like Cowboys vs. Aliens and then tell me he's not committing here. He's putting an Oscar performance compared to those. But all right, you're right though. This isn't he wasn't in full mode. I'm not gonna say he was phoning it in. I won't say he's phoning it in, but
I don't think he was phoning it in. I just don't think he was committing to the character.
You're right on that. I agree, but it's not as bad as some of the other roles I've been seeing in the last 5 years. Okay, newer, and then I'm going to talk more about Harrison Ford if we get to some negatives. But newer actors, let's try to speed them down. And we already talked about Daisy Ridley. So I think Oscar Isaac as Poe Dameron.
Oh, I thought he was great. He
Great.
looks like a young combination between Raul Esparza and John Stamos.
Yeah. Have you seen much of Oscar Isaac?
No.
Okay, watch Ex Machina, definitely. And then watch A Most Violent Year, came out last year. But definitely watch I'll Bum You Ex Machina right after we're
It's
done
on
with
Netflix.
Or watch it on Netflix. I honestly, and I'm going to he's going to look at me here in a second. I think Oscar Isaac has a couple more years and he's going to be up in the like, caliber of actors that we talk about.
Yeah.
I think that Oscar Isaac's going to be up there with Tom Hardy, with DiCaprio, with Bale. I think he's going to eventually be our top 10 you have to watch out for him each year guy, because I saw so much in this movie and so much that I've been seeing of this guy recently, and he just dives into a role, and if anything, we didn't see enough of him.
I agree.
Like, he's great, though, and I like Poe Dameron as a character, and I don't think he missed a beat, and he's definitely everything from the wahoo to his,
His character was conspicuously missing, though.
All the time. Yeah. I keep saying underused
and it's just
for
like
everybody.
It's just like they say in Thumb Wars when Princess Butthead comes up, I escaped somehow. Let's go. It's just like that. He's like, oh, I survived. Yeah, I'm still alive. I was just a ways from the ship. I didn't see you.
I looked for you guys.
You didn't see me. I didn't see you.
I mean, I didn't have any supplies, but
desert.
I didn't have any supplies or anything, but I somehow made it back to the
Crazy.
Resistance.
I saw this big cloud of smoke in a nearby village. Was that you?
Was that you guys?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, you got a drive! Woo!
Yeah.
But
So,
even you cannot blame an actor.
No,
for
not
things
at all,
like
not
that.
at all. Not at all.
So even though that's kind of was stupid as fuck,
But you mentioned that we didn't see enough of him, and that's why.
That's why. And he was gone. But anyways, and then let's move on to John Boyega. If you're not familiar with John Boyega, watch Attack the Block, because John Boyega is great in that. But now, so Finn, what do you think?
As an actor, I wasn't sold on his performance. I liked the character. I don't know, just something about the plot between him and Ray.
Yeah, it's
bothers
shaky.
me.
It's weird.
It's a weird attachment that seems to come up out of nowhere, and it seems superficial.
I don't
really
like.
Superficial.
I'm the guy hero. You're the girl hero. Let's look into each other's eyes. Right. I don't need that.
I wanted it to be platonic.
Because
if it had been platonic, I would have been like, "Holy shit! This is a brand new type of hero pairing that I haven't seen before.
Haven't seen since Luke and Leia, even before we knew they were related.
Right.
Yeah. I really was surprised that they are kind of hinting at a relationship-y thing because, again, Leia, if you watch the first one, doesn't look like she's going to hook up with Han in Dusk. And it feels like Star Wars set up that, hey, we can break, stereotypes.
Right.
And this one's just like, hey, first guy and first girl meet.
Yeah.
And I'm like, come on. And then at least commit to it, which they didn't.
Speaking of that moment, I'm so glad they didn't bring in the I love you. I know.
I would have laughed my ass off.
After 20, 30 years? After 30 years, I fully expected them.
Yeah.
I love you.
I would have laughed my ass off. Alright, so Lupita Nyong'o as Maz Kanata, I thought was really good.
Yeah, in voice.
Oh, yeah, great voice. She did motion capture and
did
everything.
she? Okay.
Yep, she did mocap.
Yeah.
Great.
Good character.
Great. Alright, yeah, we should speed on, because we're going to talk about Adam Driver for a while. I know we are. I have to talk about Adam Driver, but Supreme Leader Snoke with Andy Serkis. Andy Serkis is amazing, in my opinion. He's one of the best guys in Hollywood right now. With Snoke, I was so underwhelmed. with Snoke. I was expecting one of the biggest fan theories out before this movie came out is that Snoke was going to be Darth Plagueis, which is Darth Sidious, Palpatine's master. He's a Mun, M-U-N-N, maybe, or M-U-U-N, something like that, but he looked a lot like what we saw in Snoke, except maybe a little...
Voldemort nose.
Little too Voldemort nose, because Muns don't really have a nose. And I don't... Yeah, and it was just underwhelmed. I thought he was going to be a little bit more sinister. And little is more, I think they should have went the Sidious route. And I'm not to talk good about the prequels, but I wish he had his face hidden or something. I think they went out to try to make him look badass, which he does look pretty cool, but I was so underwhelmed. I was like, is that Snoke? We're seeing Snoke already? Oh, I wonder if Leslie still has some soda. It was cool, and I hope he's not 40 feet tall and that's just a hologram.
Yeah.
I hope he's 7 feet tall like the average Mun, and I hope he's a monk. And I hope he's Plagueis. I still am holding on. We don't know he's not Plagueis yet. Anyways, go.
Right. Let's see. Are we still talking positives, or where are we at now?
I think we're just going through performances.
Oh, okay.
I think we're just going through
Driver?
performances.
Can we move on to Adam Driver?
You don't want to talk about Snoke?
I don't have a lot to say that you didn't already say.
Okay, yes. I got a lot of positive to say about Driver.
I have some mixed feelings about him. Because when he takes off his mask and then decides he doesn't need it anymore, I mean, that's a character note, but in general, when he doesn't have his mask on, I'm like, man, he's such a pussy.
That's what I liked about it. I like that he is just like
he needs
your
the
high
mask
school
to
kid.
Be powerful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like that he's just this boy. And guess what? Now he has a scarred face now, and now he has a reason to look more sinister. It looked like they gave him a little falling from that,
right.
And that's what I liked about it. And I'm not saying that I'm trying to convince you. I'm just saying I liked how fresh boy he looked, Boy Scout he looked, and I think he's gonna make him more.
I don't know. I'm still going to say I'm not great. I definitely get your point, and it's actually changing my opinion on it. But I'm still going to say that something about it I don't like. Just like his face paired with the idea of the character, to me, doesn't work.
Because he's badass as fuck with the mask on?
Well, but that makes sense with the character because he's, like you said, he's a frightened kid, but he also is trying to live up to the legacy of his grandfather. So, like, and like in the trailer, it's like, wow, they're just repeating Darth Vader, but
no,
he's repeating Darth Vader.
Yeah, that's his point. Yeah. That's what he's getting at.
Yeah.
In my favorite, like one of my favorite things that his character does, he's a whiny boy with a shit ton of power. When things don't go his way, he doesn't force choke his general. He destroys a fucking room.
Yeah.
I don't know if a lot of people, I heard one guy chuckle and he's allowed to chuckle, but I thought that was awesome. He was like a boy with way too much money.
Like
and he lost
grandfather.
Yeah, like his grandfather. And he lost his toy, he lost his BB-8, and he's just fucking pissed. It was lack of discipline, it was too much power, and not enough training, and I thought it was perfect.
Yeah, definitely.
But I don't know if you're allowed to think how you will about Kylo Ren and Adam Driver, but I think that Kylo Ren knocked it out of the park and was an amazing character. And definitely. I want more of him.
Me too.
And I'm really happy they didn't kill him off. I'm really happy they didn't Darth Maul him. Like, 5 scenes and then chop him in half. Spoilers. but he's making my, like, I'm feeling shit for this character because alright, now we're going to talk heavy, and then now we can talk about this and get off of performances. Han Solo's death, I think, was, for one, I teared up, and I don't know if you did.
Oh, no, I totally did.
Okay.
I cried.
But you saw his mind working, and he goes like, alright, I'm at a crossroads. I still have a lot of light and a lot of remorse in me, and that's that way, and if I embrace you and fucking hug you, I might be able to be saved. I have so much power. The dark side's seductive. And he's like, all right, I have to make my decision. You're right. I can't have one foot in the door. I have to make a decision. Boom. I was like, oh, and I saw it coming 3 minutes away. As soon as he goes, Ben! I'm like, Han's dead.
Yeah,
Han's dead.
It's definitely an arching shot of the bridge. But also, what told me he was going to do it was when he looked at the Darth Vader helmet. and he said that thing about shit, what was it? Like, show me the power of the dark side again. I was like, oh shit, he's gonna kill his dad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I knew it. I saw it coming a mile away.
And I know it might just be, if you're going to look behind the scenes, it's like, well, you know, Harrison Ford doesn't want to keep doing Star Wars movies, but they justified it in an amazing way,
really,
and I think that
well.
I think it was one of the most powerful death scenes I've seen in a movie in a very long time. Even though I saw it coming, I was like, literally like, holy shit.
I could give dozens of notes on how the scene was handled, but just for plot purposes, that was one of the better deaths that I've seen in a very, very long time.
Okay, now we've walked through, I think, most of our positives.
Yeah.
And we already talked about Daisy Ridley. We don't have to get on that. Tiny little one, and then you can go on. You probably got a lot more negatives than I do. Chewie's had that bowcaster for 30 fucking years. He's always had that bowcaster. It's the same bowcaster. He's like, I like this gun. Yeah, why didn't you try it 30 fucking years ago? He didn't just find that thing. That angered me. I kept like, stop bringing back the bowcaster, Joe.
Positive?
No, this is a negative.
Oh.
This is a negative. He kept using the damn bowcaster over and like whenever Han used it, he's like, I like this thing. It's like that's the first time you tried it.
Like
he's always had that.
It had like huge explosions. Like I didn't know it was that OP.
No, bowcaster's always been OP, and I actually liked how much use it's got. And when it was like blowing fuckers back, I was like, Chewie bowcaster. But whenever Han's like, let me use that thing, bang. He's like, I like this. I'm like, he didn't just pick it up.
Right.
He didn't just buy that. He had it in the original fucking trilogy, in the original movie. He's always had that thing. That bugged me. Alright, that wasn't quite a negative, but it fucking bugged me during this movie.
My biggest negative with this movie as a whole is it's basically just a retelling of A New Hope.
Yeah. With enough changes that a lot of people don't notice, but it's overarching.
One for one, I can point to each major plot device in A New Hope and find an exact parallel in this movie. It's the same movie.
Yeah.
I mean, and you know that...
Is that a bad thing, though?
Well, that's what it's in my negatives. But at the same time, it made for a good, watchable movie. So, and a good, watchable Star Wars movie.
Mm-hmm.
I found a lot to enjoy about it. And it's what we wanted. I'm not going to say it's not what we wanted.
It's exactly what I wanted. And it was as good as I needed it to be.
Yeah. Big plot holes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Poe Dameron plot hole and a few other plot holes.
Stolen Millennium Falcon. The Star Killer being built without anybody knowing it's there or trying to stop it.
Them not now it's just gonna rock out little problems we had. Them not explaining what the fuck's going on with the Republic and why we care about that one.
Right.
I thought that in the first movie, I thought the death of Alderaan was handled not so well because they should have made us care about Alderaan a little bit more. We didn't give a fuck about that star system. We don't care about that star system.
Right.
We're supposed to care. We don't know who that was. At least tell us in one line of dialogue or two. Like, hey, all those important people are there. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's lazy or logical that, like, okay, the Death Star can destroy a planet. What would a super Death Star do? Destroy an entire system. Like, I don't know if it's lazy or logical. Because that would be the next step.
It makes sense. It's the next step.
Like, if the Death Star is this big and it can destroy an entire planet, would you really need something this big that also needs to drain an entire sun to blow up a system?
Yep. Draining a sun, too. I'm not going to get into the science because it's Star Wars. We don't talk about science because that's where we get wish-washy.
I'm scaling.
Yeah. Now, also with that, did the first Death Star work? No. Got blown up by a farm bug. Did the second Death Star work? No. Got blown up by a drug. No. Got blown up by a drug dealer in Mimnam.
Right.
Did the Star Killer work? No, because they left another like, hey, should we plug this one problem up with a fucking plywood? No, fuck it. Like, really? You made the same damn mistake?
Also, speaking of that, why would they put the shields away from, like, the shield controls away from the bridge? Why can't the people on the bridge just be like, the shields are off? On?
It's back on. Everyone, I got it! Got the shield back up.
Like, that was dumb.
Now on ship jargon, I almost forgot a positive a little bit, and then I'm going to get into a negative. Let's talk about the Millennium Falcon, my second favorite character. I love the Millennium Falcon. I like you're did this, and they actually got into a shit ton of ship jargon. That's like my favorite thing about Empire Strikes Back, when they're like, grab me the superflux capacitor thing, and it's like, now give me the hydro spanners, and I like that they were doing that. So that was cool. Now onto my negatives. The first bit of this movie was great. Now towards the end of the first act, when they meet Han in those then the one gang showed up and the other gang showed up and they
had space Asians.
Yeah, the space Asians and then the space Liverpoolian
white guy with
Scottish weird accent.
Like,
I don't even know what accent that was.
Devo as his background.
Yeah, and then with the 3 aliens, that wasn't my Star Wars. That was 5 minutes of I don't know what that was. Right. It felt like Abrams' Star Trek, not like Star Trek, like Abrams' Star Trek, and that was weird. And I'm not saying it took me out of the movie. It didn't end the movie for me. It didn't ruin the movie for me. But I'm not ever gonna think about that 5 minutes ever again.
Right.
It was a dumb 5 minutes that didn't really fit with the pacing, which was a really well-paced movie.
The Raftar?
Yeah, whatever it's called, Raftar.
The Raftar
It's not an alien in the normal, or in the original stuff, I don't know.
It's not a Reek, it's not
no, there's a lot of Rancor, Wampas. I can keep going, Talls. It's not any of those. Nixus. And I just think that scene, or if you will, that bit was stupid. Yeah. It was dumb.
I agree completely.
I think we rocked a lot of this up. You got more?
One more big plot hole. How can a person who just discovered the Force, with absolutely no training with a lightsaber or the Force, take on somebody who's had at least a couple years of training?
A lot of years of training. All right, now let's talk about. And now I'm gonna it looks like I'm gonna trail off and ignore you, but I'm gonna bring it right back. Let's talk about Force powers for a second. Force powers. Now these are not the droids you're looking for. You got your influence, and you got your push, and then you got a lot of other weird stuff. Kylo Ren's insane with Force. He is like Empire with mind control. I've never seen mind reading like that in any of the books, comics, even the things in canon. I've never seen shit like that. We never saw the Emperor ever do it. We've never seen shit like that. That is crazy powerful Force. When he just binds people, that is a power, but I've never seen it used that much. Stopping the light beam was stupid, but I'm not going to go into that. That was really dumb. Right away at the beginning, I'm like, he stopped a laser bolt? That was like my first negative. But yeah, this guy's extremely powerful with the Force. Did he just never pick up a lightsaber until the beginning of this movie and then just fell in love with it? Because he handles a lightsaber as well as Finn did, and Finn had no earthly business using one lightsaber.
He was swinging it like a bat.
Yep, he was swinging it like a bat. Kylo Ren wasn't any better, and that bugged me just as much as it bugged me with Finn. Finn has no Force powers, and he can't handle a lightsaber, and I think that it was like a huge red herring with all the, we were seeing Finn all the time in the promotional, and we were like, he's the next Jedi! And then it's like, oh, yeah, give it to the real Force-using chick. She's right over there. Move on with the movie. But anyways, I was just saying it was dumb that he's so powerful with the Force that it blew my mind, and that he's like, ugh, and Finn's like, ugh, and there's your lightsaber fight.
And one more thing I wanted to bring up, because you just reminded me, I wanted to see more humanization of the Stormtroopers, because I thought that's what they were doing when at the beginning, when you see the blood and he freaks out. I thought they were going to humanize the Stormtrooper, but instead it was somebody who had defective training. That seemed like a weird plot hole. Because the source of Stormtroopers now is not clones, right?
It's like a halfway point. Well, yeah, okay, so we're not talking about the First Order, we're talking about the Empire. The Empire is enlistment. Even Luke goes, hey, can I go sign up for the Academy? And he's yeah, there's an Academy and you just learn, you're just soldiers and you never learn how to hit and you get killed by Ewoks. And they're not that good. This one, it's kind of a mixture. They grab kind of badass motherfuckers and then brainwash them at birth. Right. And it was And
cloning is still an option.
It's still an option, which I thought, well, because Camino never got blown up. Unless it was in that one system.
But it just... We haven't seen clones so far, so why...
What? I thought that line was dumb. That line was dumb.
Right.
They shouldn't have said that.
Maybe I should replace your army with a clone army.
Yeah, well, sure, and then let's get a Rancor.
Yes, we're just...
Fuck off.
Here's my wallet. That's 1, 2 for the clone army, 3, 4.
Yeah. Oh, shit. I forgot. I said I was going to bring them up in my negatives. I'm glad I did. Okay. But, yeah. They're like, now they're augmented humans. Mm-hmm. And they did kind of like hint at that Finn's only messed up because he wasn't treated, or like he wasn't brainwashed well enough, I guess.
Yeah.
But overall, I did like Finn as a character. But, yeah, you're right. It should have humanized a little more.
Like maybe one more, like maybe he and his buddy that died in front of him both start having second thoughts before the one dies right at the beginning. That would have been great. I would have loved that.
I did like the beginning. With the blood and the helmet.
It would have been just a little better. Okay,
now back to one more performance. Again, watch Ex Machina, because not only Oscar Isaac's in it, Donald Gleason's in it. Donald Gleason's also in a couple other movies. Harry Potter, yes. And Frank. I don't know if you watched Frank. It's not my favorite movie. There's a really funny... Yeah, it's a really funny song in it, but Donald Gleason is good in these movies. I didn't like him as Hux.
Yeah.
And it's not because he sucked. It's because I know he's better than that. And I'm tired of saying shit like this Fred and Billy when I'm like, look out for this actor, and then they just don't own up. And I'm like,
Michael B. Jordan.
But he's really good in the other stuff. Watch
Michael
Creed.
B. Jordan.
Watch Creed. I thought you were going to say Daenerys from Terminator. But anyways, no, she was really bad in Terminator. But, yeah. You don't have to yell at every scene. Okay, we get it. You're a powerful general or whatever. Actually, we don't get it. Why the fuck is Hux even there? Actually, you're right, Mark. What the... Hux is the second in command along with, like, Kylo, and I have no idea why.
Yeah.
We didn't get one line like, remember? Because he won all these victories. No one said that.
Also, usually military types tend to regard the Force as a mystic religion, and Hux was like, yes, Supreme Leader, tell us more, Supreme Leader.
And he's like, yeah, get him trained
like
better.
Cult.
Yeah, well, his name's Supreme Leader. It's gonna come off like a cult.
No, his name is Snoke.
Yeah, Supreme Leader Snoke.
Yeah, but I mean, only Sith Lords would call him Snoke, like they called the Emperor anything respectful.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, they answered to the Emperor more respectfully, but they still regarded the Force as kind of a mystic religion.
Yeah, well, they always did. Yeah, your sorceress ways, Lord Vader.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why Hux got moved up, but I really wish that they spent, 5 more seconds on Hux.
All the crazy, like, transparent Nazi imagery, too.
Like, I'm okay with it.
I wasn't okay with it because it was literally like they took photographs of Nazis and just photoshopped in stormtroopers and shit. Like, there's that structure that he was standing on giving that speech.
Oh, it's like right out of Nazi Germany.
No, it was literally like I can't remember the name of the location. I think it's Berchtesgaden.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. And now they do rock shows there.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, if you look at 1940s pictures, it's identical.
Yeah. And then one more. In this, again, so that was a Donald Gleason. I don't know why he didn't do better and they didn't give him the right stuff. Gwendoline Christie, another Game of Thrones actress, was Captain Phasma she was the Chrome Trooper. Mm-hmm. I could have used a little bit more. I really could have. I thought that they were promising when she first, grills Finn. She seemed really great, and I loved her voice, and I liked her underneath, and she just had a commanding presence. And then she's gone. She comes back later and gets treated like a bitch, and then she's gone again, and I thought that was dumb.
I like that she looked like a super stormtrooper from Battlefront.
Yeah, I guess. But our other guy who does these with me, Taylor, he, on their way home, said, he's like the Boba Fett of this one, she's like the Boba Fett of this one, and that's not really a compliment. That means that she looks really cool, she's really promising, they give her 5 lines, and if they feed her to a Psylocke pit, I'm fucking pissed. I'm fucking pissed if she just no! I'm fucking mad. But they could have used her at least a little bit.
Yeah. My last thing is going to be that the denouement was, done. It was, so quick. They squeezed it into the last 3 minutes of the movie.
Yeah. But overall, that was a 45... 7.5, 8.5. This is a 40-minute review. I guess we saw that coming. Thank you if you watched this whole thing. Oh my god, this is almost 2 episodes of Seinfeld. You could have watched it said. So thank you for watching. Watch more. Fucking do all that stuff. Go see Star Wars!
If you already saw it, see it again.
And if you didn't watch it and you watched all of this, then oops. You shouldn't have kept watching all this.
I'd say sorry, but we warned you.
Yeah, we freaking warned you. I don't give a shit
Anyway.
anymore. Okay, we'll talk to you guys later. We got more movies, as always, coming up, and we got more reviews coming up. And check out that show about that thing. We have a segment coming up on that one coming up again. It's a little show of all these different movie reviews, guys, like the Bad Movie Reviewer, and the show about that thing. So check us out on there. We are in one video now, and more coming up. And yeah, click like and subscribe if you haven't done it, and follow us on Facebook and Twitter and all that good stuff. And we'll talk to you later. You got anything else to say?
Bye.
Bye.